might have seen my previous video on shipping from the UK to United States. In this video, I'm going to discuss about my experience shipping from the USA to Canada. We shipped our items from the US to Canada, moving 500 miles using Upack, who are using ABF freight, as you can see here on the trailer. And this is a 28-foot trailer. These are the securing bolts. The driver is going to tell you how to secure your load inside when it's going to be shipped between countries, although they open it themselves later on. But the procedure is that they come to your home, and on a date you choose, they leave the trailer there for 2-3 days as long as you agree, and afterwards they come on a date you choose and they pick up the truck. Here are the instructions inside on how to secure your load inside the trailer. So besides securing bolts, which you have to pay attention how to secure your trunk, you have got these locking wall dividers, which are very, very heavy, and we are not able to secure our 24 feet of items inside the 28-foot trailer. And you see there the gap where they are supposed to secure those doors. They are very, very heavy. Together with the ramp, my gosh, is also very, very heavy. What I'm going to concentrate now briefly is those two little windows you see on the right and on the left, right at the beginning of the truck, or the end if we are looking from this position. They are important. Why? Because normally they are used to have some air inside the truck. However, together with the air, also water. So if it rains, it's going to come inside. So this is what happened to us. Is one of the problems we had with lots of water coming inside the truck. Probably it rained heavily where these guys have been, and it affected so many boxes. I'm going to show you later on. So I'm working now on this ramp, and we started with the boxes. We had probably 250 boxes of 50 by 50 by 50 centimeters, and towards the end we put the furniture we couldn't dismantle, in this case this sofa. So this was in order to ensure that our load is going to reach those 24 feet. We are going to put the doors, and then if they want to put somebody else's items in there moving from US to Canada, they could do that. However, as I said, we couldn't secure these doors because they were so heavy, so it was only me and my other half. We couldn't do that, but we know, although we secured the trailer ourselves with the instructions they told us on how to secure the trailer, we noticed, as I said, that they went inside the truck themselves and they secured these doors where they should be secure. So when we reached the items in Canada, the doors were locked in that position. So clearly 2 strong men or 3 strong men could do that easily. Us, we couldn't. A 28-foot long trailer is 28 by 8 by 9, so long, width and height, and is enough for a big house. Our house was just around 3,000 square feet, so it was a big house, and I was able to put together the furniture and then separate it again when we moved. Besides the problems we had with the company, we noticed that towards the end, where those windows were, that many boxes were wet, especially towards the bottom. Proof that it rained and all the rain got into the truck, affecting not only clothing, which I tend to put my clothing in plastic bags and then I put them in these carton boxes which are double wall corrugated. These are kind of boxes good for shipping. They are very expensive boxes and we tend to keep everything, not throwing anything away. So not only my clothing were affected, which I was able to help them a bit, but the shoes were very affected. These are very expensive shoes I purchased in the UK, I purchased in Italy, I purchased in France, so I'm very, very upset. Many of my shoes are not even worn, those with high heels, because the problems I developed recently, some never worn before, like a pair you are going to see soon, and I was very, very upset. And not only that, the electronics which I also put in boxes, the boxes were all wet, so the small boxes inside these bigger boxes. This pair of high heels, I never even wore them before, never ever, and I was very upset seeing how everything was so moldy. I was able to actually peel away the carton as if it was thin paper. Look at it, it is just impregnated with water. At the end of this video and underneath, I'm going to put attachments relating to our shipping company we used when moving from the UK to the States. Now in the States we used Upack, as I mentioned earlier. So what Upack they did, they used ABFfreight to actually move our items from the US to Canada, and our neighbors, they also sold the house at the same time as we did, and I remember they moved 1,000 miles to western US. We moved only 500 miles north to Canada. So look at this box here, look how wet it is, and you can actually see the line of the water on the box, how it penetrated inside the trailer. So we passed all the information when moving. They need copies of our passports and all the information, and they were so lazy they didn't even pass the information on to the border people, because of course the items need to be checked at the border. We discovered they weren't checked at all, but in good faith we passed everything in advance because Upack asked for it. Well, we were contacted by phone, and we didn't know who they were, by the people from the border as soon as the items reached the border. So I think it was 1 week, and because we haven't returned the call, we didn't know that actually our items reached us, because we haven't checked the messaging. We just moved here, we had lots of issues to deal with, and because of this, we couldn't receive the items in 1 week. So then we received another phone call saying, oh, they need your passport details. And I thought, what? We already passed the information. Why do they need this information all over again? Proof that Upack has been so lazy and they haven't passed our information around. So why on earth did we pay over $1,000 to move our items, since they are not even doing their end of the bargain? Upack was one of the cheapest companies actually when you ship items from US to Canada, or even within US, as lots of people do. Check the reviews around, and based on this we thought, okay, it's a major company, should be okay, should be no problem, they should be very professional, they will be not creating any problems. This was not the case. So again, Upack, badly done. Of course, they have reimbursed us several hundreds of dollars because of all these damages. We took pictures, videos, and we forwarded to them proof. Several boxes were destroyed, and look at this pair of shoes. I hardly wore them in London, and now they're covered in grey mold. So this accumulated over 2 weeks. And of course, you are not going to start wearing and opening all the boxes straight away, due to more important things you have to do when you reach a new country. When we received the trailer in the States, we thought, okay, it's going to be busy. It was a nice summer day. And we thought, okay, we are going to move the items into the truck ourselves. Well, this create lots of problems for our bags. So I would highly recommend in the future to actually have professionals do it themselves. We thought that because they're all our items, we are going to be more careful than these moving people. And what we did in Canada, we actually used the services of a local company to move our stuff from the truck onto the house. And we used a company called EasyMovingSolutions. Well, the problem with this company is not a well-established company here in Canada, and the person who answered the phone sounded like the owner. He was not even truthful. He said he is going to use professionals, people who do this all the time. Actually, when discussing with the two guys who arrived, they said that, the owner just contacted them on that day in the morning. He woke up one of the guys and they arrived 90 minutes late. Not only that, they were very, very argumentative with me when I told them, do this way, I want this for future reference to know where all the boxes are. One of them started arguing with me because he's a man and he knows better. The other guy couldn't speak much English. The guy who spoke English disappeared after probably 90 minutes. So I booked them for 3 hours. And only one guy remained. Of course, he couldn't do everything himself, despite me and my other half helping at the same time. So no wonder that our backs started hurting for the following days, because with one guy you can't do much. So the owner was not honest, and not only that, they destroyed our walls, they destroyed the couch. They didn't organize items the way I wanted to be organized. They messed up the floor, so walls, floors, so many problems. And the guy who ran after 90 minutes without even telling us said, I take this on me. This is my responsibility. Doesn't mean that he's going to cover the hundreds of dollars we had to put into repairing the walls, the floors, everything else, the couch. No, nothing whatsoever. So the owner only gave us back $100. But the work and the destruction they created is much more than that. So I was very, very disappointed. They have done this, and they have lied to this extent to me. And that guy disappearing after 90 minutes, we thought, where is he? Called the owner, and the guy came back and said, apologies, I'm feeling sick, I should go to this hospital. I said, well, if you're feeling sick, why did you even come here? Look at the walls, how destroyed they are. So we had to clean up everything after these guys. We are left utterly disappointed with all these companies. So this is the guy who remained to help us and my other half in the truck, trying to organize the boxes and bring everything, because in the morning they dropped the trailer, and in the afternoon around 4-5 o'clock they came back and they picked up the trailer. So we had to be very efficient and organize everything effectively without creating further delays. Otherwise we would have had to pay more to keep the trailer overnight. I hope this helps in choosing the right companies to move your items overseas and between countries.